Chosen one, listen closely. When Winston Churchill was leading Britain through the darkest days of World War II, there were voices, both inside and outside, saying it was hopeless, saying surrender was the only option. Bombs were falling, cities were burning, and despair whispered in every corner. But Churchill stood firm, declaring that truth would outlast terror. And indeed, the tide turned, and what was meant to break a nation became the foundation for victory. Your life is no different. The whispers of darkness were meant to bury you, but heaven has already spoken over you. The ones around you who never celebrated your victories, who downplayed your worth, who planted doubts in your spirit, those were the carriers of lies. They wanted you to believe you were unworthy, unloved, overlooked. They wanted you to feel like every step you took was pointless. But here's the truth. Every lie they told was an echo of their own brokenness, not a reflection of your destiny. You see, demons feed on deception, but angels speak only in truth. And the truth is, you are chosen, protected, and elevated beyond the reach of their schemes. They wanted to bind you with guilt from your past, shame from your mistakes, and fear of your future. They thought if they whispered often enough, "You're not enough, you'll never rise, you'll never escape," you would eventually believe them. But chosen one, what they forgot is that your spirit is not built on whispers, it is built on the word. The chains they forged have already been shattered. The very places where they wanted you to stumble are now the platforms where God is raising you higher. Those whispers were designed to drain you, to wear you down slowly like water carving through stone. But they didn't know what heaven already declared, that you carry divine resilience. While they whispered weakness, angels declared strength. While they tried to suffocate your light, heaven expanded it. You are not crumbling, you are becoming unshakable. They see you standing where they thought you would fall, and it terrifies them. Because your endurance is proof that no lie can overwrite God's promise. Why do demons whisper? Because they are afraid of your roar. Why do manipulators talk behind your back? Because they fear what will happen if you fully step into your identity. They needed to confuse you before you discovered who you are. But chosen one, now you know. You are a divine weapon, forged in fire. The more they whispered, the more your discernment sharpened. Now you can see through every disguise, every fake smile, every false promise. What was meant to blind you has instead opened your eyes wide. You know those moments when you were all alone, when no one texted, no one called, when every door seemed closed. That's when heaven leaned in and spoke the loudest. Angels reminded you in dreams, in signs, in quiet inner strength, that you are never abandoned. While demons whispered lies, angels declared destiny. While the world mocked, heaven promised. That's why you're still standing. That's why you've survived storms that should have destroyed you. And that's why your truth is undeniable. You are chosen, you are covered, and you are walking into victory. Chosen one, hear me clearly. The lies were loud, but they were never lasting. The truth has already been spoken, and it carries eternal weight. No demon, no hater, no betrayer can cancel what heaven has confirmed over your life. Your truth is radiant. Your truth is unstoppable. Your truth is divine. Stand tall, chosen one. Walk boldly, knowing you are seen, you are shielded, you are destined. Every time you took a step forward, they ran ahead with words designed to sabotage your name. They called you unreliable, unstable, unworthy. They whispered in circles, hoping rumors would spread faster than your truth. But chosen one, gossip dies in the light of revelation. The very people they tried to turn against you are beginning to see through the crack, because your life speaks louder than their lies. Your fruit proves your faith, and while they choke on the bitterness of their own words, you rise, breathing the fresh air of divine vindication. Do you remember those closed doors? The job that slipped away? The relationship that fell apart? The invitation you never received? They thought if you were excluded, you would break. But what they didn't realize is that every rejection was a redirection. Heaven doesn't waste pain, it reroutes it. And while they gloated over your supposed downfall, God was preparing an elevation that no human hand can block. Their rejection was the setup for your protection. Their no only cleared the path for God's greater yes. The lies weren't just about circumstances. They attacked your very identity. They wanted you to question your worth, your calling, your purpose. They wanted you silent, because your voice carries power. But chosen one, when you speak truth, heaven echoes. Your words dismantle deception. Your prayers shift atmospheres. That's why demons trembled when you whispered God's promises in the dark. That's why angels moved when you refused to stay quiet. You were never voiceless. You were being trained to roar. People only project what's inside them. Their insults were never about you. They were reflections of their own insecurities. They called you a failure because they feared failing themselves. They mocked your dreams because they abandoned theirs. They tried to shrink you because they hated their own smallness. But chosen one, your healing exposes their brokenness. Your wholeness convicts their emptiness. The more they lie, the more heaven displays the truth through your life. And the truth is undeniable. You are not their opinion. You are God's masterpiece. Lies are like shadows. They shift, distort, and disappear when the light shows up. But truth is unshakable, eternal, and divine. Angels declared your truth before you even stepped into this battle. They declared victory when demons were still planning defeat. And now, chosen one, you're walking into the season where truth silences lies, where your testimony silences rumors, where your breakthrough silences doubt. The enemy's whispers cannot follow you into your promised land. Your truth is louder, stronger, and forever sealed in heaven. Chosen ones, let this sink in. The demons whispered, but the angels shouted. The betrayers plotted, but heaven prevailed. The liars schemed, but God's truth endured. You are chosen. You are covered. You are destined. Behind closed doors, in hushed conversations, they drew maps of your downfall. They thought their whispers would stay hidden, but the universe has a way of uncovering what is done in darkness. Chosen one, their schemes were nothing but smoke against the fire of your calling. Every hidden plot is being exposed. Every secret weapon formed against you is crumbling before it ever reaches your door. For the same angels that declared your truth are guarding every step you take. Their whispers cannot penetrate the walls of divine protection that surround you. They dug up old mistakes, replayed old failures, tried to chain you to memories that no longer define you. They whispered, "You'll never change. You'll always be this way." But chosen one, your past is not your prison, it's your proof. Proof that you've been refined, proof that you've been restored, proof that God's mercy has carried you through every valley. What they call baggage, heaven calls testimony. And now, the very past they used as a weapon is becoming the platform where your truth shines brightest. You didn't respond to every rumor. You didn't fight every battle. You let them talk, you let them laugh, you let them whisper. They thought your silence meant defeat, but chosen one, your silence was strategy. While they wasted breath on lies, you were conserving strength for destiny. Heaven fights for those who remain still, and your silence gave space for God's voice to roar. They mocked the quiet, but they will soon witness the thunder of your breakthrough. They saw the glow you carried, the confidence, the peace, the divine favor, and it disturbed their darkness. So they whispered, "Dim yourself, hide yourself, stay small." But chosen one, light cannot be buried. The more they tried to cover you, the more your glow leaked out in places they could not control. Your smile lit rooms they wanted dark. Your kindness warmed hearts they wanted cold. Your resilience became a beacon in the very storm meant to drown you. They can't bury what God has commanded to shine. Demons whispered, "This is the end. This is all you'll ever be." But angels declared, "The story isn't over. The best is yet to come." While they tried to trap you in one chapter, heaven was writing the sequel. And chosen one, this next chapter is not about defeat, it's about destiny. It's about doors opening without permission from those who closed them. It's about blessings arriving faster than lies can travel. The whispers said you were done. The angels said you're just beginning. And heaven's word is final. Chosen one, can you feel it? Every whisper is fading, every lie unraveling, every shadow dissolving. Truth stands tall over your life. Heaven's declaration is louder than hell's deception. You are chosen. You are protected. You are unstoppable. They thought if your breakthrough didn't come quickly, you would grow tired and give up. They whispered, "See, nothing is happening. You prayed, but heaven is silent. But chosen one, what they don't understand is that divine delay is not denial, it is preparation. While they laughed at your waiting, angels were setting the stage for a greater unveiling. You are not behind schedule, you are perfectly aligned with God's timing. The whispers mocked your patience, but your patience has birthed power. You gave when they only took. You forgave when they betrayed. You helped when they abandoned. And still, they whispered that your kindness was weakness. But chosen one, what they mistook for fragility was actually your greatest strength. Because kindness is not naivety, it's courage. It's standing tall in love when the world expects you to crumble in hate. And now, their lies are backfiring. For every act of manipulation has only revealed the depth of your integrity. The same kindness they despised is the crown heaven places on your head. They whispered venom into your spirit, hoping their anger would become yours, that their hate would infect your heart. They wanted you to fight fire with fire, to live poison like them. But chosen one, you chose forgiveness, and forgiveness is freedom. While they remain trapped in cycles of resentment, you have risen above. Their bitterness is a chain, your mercy is a key. And the angels rejoice every time you choose peace over vengeance, every time you choose growth over grudges. The knives in your back, the smiles that masked deception, the friends who turned foes, they thought it would end you. They whispered that you would never recover from the pain. But betrayal was the birthplace of your transformation. It stripped away the false so that truth could stand revealed. It showed you who never deserved your trust, and it guided you toward those who carry divine alignment. What was meant to break you has only rebuilt you, stronger, wiser, and unshakable. Every whispered lie becomes another stage for heaven's glory. Every setback turns into evidence of divine power. Angels are not just declaring your truth, they are broadcasting it. Doors are opening, opportunities are appearing, and favor is multiplying, not because you fought for it, but because heaven has stamped your story with divine approval. The whispers of demons have become irrelevant noise. Your life itself has become the loudest sermon, one of resilience, redemption, and undeniable victory. Chosen ones, this is your reminder. What they whispered in shadows cannot withstand what heaven has shouted in light. The lies fade, but your truth is eternal. You are chosen. You are rising. You are walking proof that no darkness can silence destiny. They pulled away, withdrew their support, whispered that you were all alone. They thought if you had no one to lean on, you would collapse. But chosen one, they forgot that isolation is often the incubator of greatness. It was in the quiet that you discovered your strength. It was in the stillness that angels ministered to you. What they saw as abandonment was actually alignment, removing the wrong voices so you could hear heaven's voice clearly. Their plan to break you in loneliness became God's plan to build you in solitude. They whispered, "Why keep believing? Why keep praying? Why hold on to promises that never come?" They laughed at your hope, rolled their eyes at your persistence. But chosen one, faith is the evidence of things not seen, and what they mocked is about to manifest. The same mouths that dismissed your prayers will soon witness your miracles. They mocked the waiting, but heaven calls it preparation. Their doubt only highlighted your faith, and your faith is what moves mountains. When opportunities came, they whispered you weren't ready. When new doors opened, they said you didn't deserve it. When you stepped into purpose, they tried to make you question if it was really for you. But chosen one, every blessing with your name on it has been signed, sealed, and delivered by heaven itself. No amount of doubt, no amount of slander can revoke what's divinely assigned. The blessings they called burdens will overflow until even your enemies acknowledge that you were favored all along. They saw you pause, saw seasons where fruit wasn't visible, and they whispered, "It's over, they've failed." But chosen one, a seed doesn't sprout the moment it's planted. It takes time beneath the soil. And while they mistook your stillness for death, heaven knew you were germinating, preparing for a greater harvest. Your season of seeming inactivity was never defeat, it was divine incubation. And now, the fruit of your patience is about to shock every doubter watching from the sidelines. Demons whispered labels: failure, mistake, unworthy, forgotten. They wanted to brand you with shame, but heaven called you beloved, chosen, anointed, redeemed. Angels have shouted your name in the courts of heaven, sealing your identity where no human opinion can touch it. And chosen one, this truth is unshakable. You are not what they said, you are what God says. Their whispers vanish, but heaven's word echoes through eternity. Chosen one, hold this truth in your spirit. Every whisper was a lie, every lie was a trap, and every trap has already been dismantled by divine hands. The light is shining, your truth is rising, and nothing in hell or on earth can stop what heaven has already declared over you. When you stumbled, when you struggled, when you went through seasons of silence, they whispered that you were finished. They clapped for your downfall before the story was even complete. But chosen one, their celebration was premature. Because the same place they saw you fall is the same place heaven is about to raise you up. Angels have already prepared a table in the presence of your enemies. The same ones who mocked your pain will have no choice but to witness your restoration. They whispered distractions, dangling shiny opportunities that looked good but weren't God. They planted doubts, asking, "Are you really called? Did you really hear right?" They hoped to scatter your focus and drain your energy. But chosen one, heaven gave you clarity that cannot be shaken. Every false path is being exposed, every counterfeit assignment is crumbling, and your steps are aligning with divine order. What they meant to confuse, God used to confirm. Your purpose is no longer a question, it's a declaration. When you cried in secret, when your heart broke, when life felt unbearable, demons whispered, "Stay down. Don't get up. Don't speak." They wanted your tears to be your end. But chosen one, your pain became prophecy. Your tears became seeds, and every sleepless night birthed a deeper anointing. The voice they wanted silenced has become louder, stronger, more dangerous to their lies. Pain didn't silence you, it sharpened you. You are now a living testimony, a vessel carrying heaven's fire. They whispered chaos, stirred confusion, created constant drama, hoping you'd be too exhausted to fight for your destiny. They thought you would surrender out of fatigue. But chosen one, your strength doesn't come from this world, it comes from heaven. While they drain themselves running in circles of envy, you are replenished daily by divine presence. Angels minister to you when no one else understands. That's why you rise renewed when others collapse. What was meant to drain you has only fueled your endurance. Even when you felt unseen, unheard, and misunderstood, heaven kept receipt. Every prayer you prayed, every tear you shed, every good seed you planted, angels recorded it. And now they are testifying in the courts of heaven, declaring that your harvest must come. Demons whispered lies to discredit you, but angels declared the evidence of your faithfulness. Chosen one, heaven has ruled in your favor. The verdict is victory. The decree is a breakthrough, and no earthly whisper can overrule what has already been sealed above. Chosen one, let this settle deep in your spirit. Every lie they whispered was just noise. Every attempt to bury you only revealed the depth of your root, and every word spoken by heaven is standing firm, unshakable, and eternal. You are not defeated. You are not forgotten. You are not finished. You are chosen, crowned, and called for such a time as this. They whispered, "Look at them, they're ahead of you. They're more successful. They're more loved." They wanted you tangled in envy, distracted from your own path. But chosen one, comparison is a trap designed to make you forget your unique assignment. Heaven never called you to copy, it called you to carry something original. While they chase trends and scramble for validation, you are walking a path that only you can fulfill. Their whispers of comparison cannot dim a light that was handcrafted by God Himself. When life weighed heavy, when you cried yourself to sleep, when you doubted if you could make it through another day, they whispered, "They're done. They've given up." But chosen one, your struggle was not surrender, it was survival. Every tear was fuel. Every doubt was a step toward deeper faith. Angels saw you pressing on when no one else knew the battle you were fighting. What they thought was your breaking point was actually your turning point. They studied your weaknesses, circled your soft spots, whispered into the cracks of your heart. They thought if they pushed hard enough, you would collapse under pressure. But chosen one, your vulnerability became heaven's doorway. Where you were weak, God's strength poured in. Where you were fragile, angels covered you. The same areas they attacked are now the places where your testimony will be strongest. What they targeted for destruction has become the very stage for divine power to shine. You gave your all, stood by them, protected them, but they whispered betrayal in return. They thought your loyalty made you a fool. But chosen one, loyalty is never wasted, it is an investment. And though they betrayed you, heaven saw your heart. Angels recorded your faithfulness, and now divine connections are being prepared, relationships that honor your loyalty instead of abusing it. Their betrayal will not leave you empty. It will position you for divine partnerships that cannot be shaken. Before you even faced this battle, heaven declared the outcome. Demons whispered failure, but angels shouted triumph. And chosen one, victory isn't something you're waiting for, it's something you're walking in. Every step you take is proof that the lies could not kill you, the betrayal could not break you, and the whispers could not rewrite your story. The outcome is sealed, the victory is yours, and the angels are rejoicing as they watch you rise. Chosen one, the whispers were loud, but they were powerless. The truth has always been louder, and that truth says you are chosen, you are protected, you are destined. Lift your head high, because heaven has confirmed what the enemy tried to deny. They whispered labels that never belonged to you: failure, weak, unwanted. They hoped if they repeated it enough, you'd wear it like a second skin. But chosen one, those labels were lies stitched together by insecurity. Angels tore them apart and replaced them with your true name: chosen, anointed, redeemed. Your identity was never theirs to define. While they whispered counterfeit titles, heaven shouted your eternal crown. When prayers seemed unanswered, when doors stayed closed, when silence stretched long, they whispered, "See, God forgot you." But chosen one, silence is not absence, it's strategy. Angels were moving pieces you couldn't see. What looked like delay was alignment. And now, what you thought would never arrive is about to overflow in abundance. Their whispers of abandonment collapse in the face of divine timing. They pointed at your wounds, your past mistakes, your broken moments. They whispered that scars made you unworthy. But chosen one, scars are proof of survival. They are not signs of weakness, they are marks of victory. Angels don't hide scars, they honor them, because every healed wound declares, "I made it, I endured, I overcame." What they tried to shame has become your badge of honor, evidence that hell couldn't keep you down. When relationships ended, when doors shut, when things were stripped away, they whispered, "You're being punished." But chosen one, heaven prunes what it plans to grow. Losing was not punishment, it was preparation. The pruning wasn't to destroy you, it was to make room for better fruit. What they call loss, heaven calls upgrade. And the harvest that's coming will silence every whisper of doubt. From the beginning, before the whispers, before the lies, before the betrayal, heaven had already placed guards around your purpose. Demons may circle, haters may plot, manipulators may scheme, but they cannot cross the line heaven has drawn. Your destiny is untouchable, your calling is irreversible, your anointing is unshakable. The whispers echo in shadows, but angels surround you in light. And chosen one, light always wins. Chosen one, hear this loud and clear. The whispers were many, but they were never final. The truth of heaven has already overruled every lie. You are not bound by their words, you are freed by God's word. You are not weakened by their whispers, you are strengthened by heaven's shout. They thought they had the final word about your identity. Demons whispered through them, planting doubts in your spirit, convincing you that you were not enough, not worthy, not loved. Every sideways glance, every mocking laugh, every cutting word was meant to cage your heart. They wanted you silenced, broken, and erased. But heaven's court has already ruled in your favor. Angels are not silent observers, they are messengers of truth. While people tried to drown you in lies, angels rose up and declared over you, "You are chosen, you are protected, you are unstoppable." Their verdict cannot be overturned. They smiled while feeding you poison. They coated their lies in false kindness, disguising betrayal as friendship, deceit as love, manipulation as guidance. They wanted you dependent on their approval so they could control your destiny. but angels saw through the disguise. Angels ripped the mask from their faces and exposed what they really were. You were never meant to live chained to their validation. Instead, heaven has given you wings to rise above them. The poison they tried to bury in your soul is being burned away by holy fire. What they spoke is dead. What God speaks lives forever. They laughed when you fell. Demons whispered, "Stay down. You will never rise again." The voices mocked you in the night, telling you that your mistakes defined you. But angels shouted a louder truth: redemption is stronger than shame. The universe bends in favor of those who refuse to give up. Every scar they mocked is becoming your testimony. Every failure they tried to chain to your name is being transformed into evidence of your strength. Angels have already prepared a stage for your comeback. What they thought was your ending is only the beginning of your rise. They cursed your name in secret. They sat in circles, whispering about you, weaving lies like a spider's web. They thought their words would trap you, stain your reputation, destroy your future. But angels took every curse and turned it into a blessing. Every dagger they threw at your back has been reforged into a crown placed on your head. You do not walk carrying their venom, you walk carrying divine favor. Heaven's spotlight shines brighter than their shadows. While they whispered destruction, angels declared your destiny. And destiny always speaks louder than gossip. They underestimated your resilience. They assumed the blows would break you, that the darkness would consume you. Demons whispered, "It's over. You will never recover." But angels sang the truth. This valley will become your victory ground. The very battlefield meant to bury you will be the stage where you stand undefeated. The pain you endured has carved strength into your bones. You are no longer fragile, you are fortified. Every storm sharpened your vision, every setback deepened your faith. What they meant for your downfall has become the fuel for your rise. They thought silence would crush you. They withdrew their support, pulled back their voices, and left you standing alone. Demons whispered, "See? No one cares. No one stands with you." But angels filled the silence with songs of victory. Heaven's choir wrapped around your spirit and reminded you that even if the world turns its back, God has never walked away. You were never called to be carried by the crowd. You were called to be lifted by the Creator. Their absence was not abandonment, it was divine removal. Now you rise, carried not by applause, but by angelic wings. They threw stones at your past. They dug up old mistakes, old wounds, and old failures, hoping the weight of memory would drag you down. Demons whispered, "This is who you'll always be." But angels declared, "The past has no chain strong enough to bind you." What they see as your shame, heaven sees as your testimony. Every scar is proof of survival. Every wound is evidence of healing. You are not defined by yesterday, you are refined by it. What was meant to disqualify you is now the very reason you are unstoppable. They envied the light in you. They couldn't understand how you still smiled after storms, how you still stood after betrayals, how you still dreamed after disappointments. Demons whispered in their ears, convincing them that if they dimmed your light, theirs would shine brighter. So they tried to cover you, to overshadow you, to silence you. But angels declared, "This light is untouchable." You were born to illuminate paths others cannot even see. Their envy has become their blindness, but your glow is your guidance. No shadow can swallow what heaven has lit. They tried to chain your future with fear. They painted pictures of failure, spoke words of doubt, and cast shadows over your dreams. Demons whispered, "What if you lose? What if you fall? What if you're not enough?" But angels countered with a greater truth. What if you soar? What if you win? What if you were born for this? Fear cannot chain a soul set free by faith. The very future they wanted to bury is already breaking through the ground, like a seed no storm can destroy. You were destined to grow, destined to expand, destined to thrive. They thought the fire would consume you. Life's trials burned hot, betrayal cut deep, and losses struck hard. Demons whispered, "This fire will destroy you." But angels declared, "This fire will refine you." What was meant to reduce you to ashes has instead forged you into unbreakable gold. You are no longer who you once were. You are stronger, sharper, and more radiant. The flames they celebrated as your destruction became the forge of your destiny. You do not walk out smelling like smoke, You walk out shining with glory. They thought your tears were weakness. Every night you cried in secret. Every moment your heart ached, demons whispered, "See, they are broken. They can't recover." But angels declared, "Your tears water your destiny." Every drop carried purification. Every sob carried strength. Every quiet prayer carried breakthrough. Chosen one, the very tears they mocked are the fuel for your rise. What they mistook for failure is actually the preparation for your victory. You are not drowning, you are being lifted by unseen hands. They tried to distort your faith. They mocked your prayers, scoffed at your devotion, whispered that your hope was foolishness. But angels declared, "Faith is your fortress." Every prayer you whispered, every promise you held onto, built walls no enemy can penetrate. While they laughed at your reliance on heaven, the heavens were building your altar. Chosen one, your trust in God is not naive, it is unstoppable. And the very faith they ridiculed is the fire that will set your entire world ablaze. They wanted your silence to be your sentence. They tried to make you doubt your voice, belittle your words, and shrink your influence. But angels declared, your voice carries power. Every word you speak aligned with truth is a weapon against lies. Every declaration you make shakes atmospheres. Chosen one, the whispers of enemies cannot stop a voice anointed by heaven. What they wanted hushed is now roaring. What they tried to bury is now echoing across realms. You speak, and the world listens, whether they realize it or not. They tried to turn your blessings into target. Every favor, every gift, every door that opened was scrutinized by jealous eyes, whispered about behind your back, plotted against. But angels declared, blessings cannot be stolen. Heaven has assigned protectors over every gift you've received. What they intended for harm is being multiplied for good. Chosen one, the more they scheme, the more their plots become invisible obstacles you were meant to step over. Every blessing is still yours, and nothing can change that. They thought they could intimidate your courage. They whispered threats, cast shadows of fear, tried to convince you that standing tall would cost too much. But angels declared, courage is your birthright. Every act of bravery, every step of obedience, every moment you refuse to yield strengthens your soul. Demons tremble at the resolve of one walking in divine purpose. Chosen one, what they intended to frighten you with only fortified your armor. Your courage is not a response. It is a declaration of heaven's presence in you. Chosen one, hear this. Every whisper that tried to shake you, every lie that attempted to define you, every hand that tried to push you down has failed. The demons have spoken, but angels have shouted. The shadows have come, but your light has burned brighter. What they whispered in fear and envy cannot undo what heaven has ordained. You are not the sum of their lies. You are not limited by their opinions. You are not trapped by their betrayal. You are the beloved, the chosen, the one anointed for victory. Every step you've taken, every battle you've survived, every tear you've shed has been recorded in the courts of heaven, and every one of those moments is now declaring your triumph. The truth is yours. It cannot be stolen, it cannot be silenced, and it cannot be denied. Angels have spoken it, heaven has sealed it, and now, as you rise above the lies, above the whispers, above the fear, you walk into your purpose fully armored, fully anointed, fully unstoppable. You are a living testament that nothing in hell, nothing in the world, and nothing in the hearts of the envious can overcome the power and protection of God. So stand tall, chosen one. Walk boldly in your calling. Speak loudly the truth that has been declared over your life. Shine brightly, because your light is too powerful to hide. Every whisper that tried to stop you is now a testament to how far you've come, and every angel rejoices at the victory you are living right now. Remember this: you are chosen, you are protected, and you are unstoppable. Your story is not written by those who tried to bury you. It is written by heaven itself, and heaven always finishes what it begins. If this word has stirred your spirit, take a stand with your fellow chosen ones. Like this video as a declaration of truth, comment, "My victory is sealed," and subscribe to join this family of believers walking boldly in divine purpose. Together we rise. Together we shine. Together we silence every lie and amplify the roar of heaven. Your time has come. Your truth has prevailed. Your victory is unstoppable. Amen.